And I know that probably sounds crazy and it sounds, probably ignorant to most entrepreneurs, and I get it, but that's our objective. What's up, everyone? My name is Davis, and welcome back to this week's episode of Building Combat. Now, this whole week was built on digital marketing and pushing the boundaries. Our main objective was to build content that speaks to our audience and that clearly outlines exactly what Combat does and what our values are, what we're striving for, and the direction that we're headed as a company.
And on my end, it's been a deep dive into the psychology of selling business to business compared to selling door to door. Now, door to door, we could just go and knock doors. But business to business, we're having to learn new skills like cold email campaigns, speaking with multiple decision makers, follow-ups. And even though it can be challenging at times, it's really fun and exciting to learn a brand new sales cycle. A sales cycle that, with practice and time, we're only getting better at.
The challenge that we solved this week was redesigning our front-end website. In the previous business venture that we were going when we were at boot camp, we had our entire business outlined on our front-end website, and it took forever for me to actually design everything and structure it. Approaching this version, we did a complete overhaul. My main goal was I don't want to recreate the wheel. I want to find websites that are already doing what we're doing as an agency and just mimic some of the things that I really like about that, improve upon their systems and their website, but just general flow. We found a couple agency websites that we really liked and ultimately crafted together using my design and certain structure elements from different websites, and to create something that we're really excited about. This new direction that our website's headed is exactly where we're wanting to end up as an agency.
Now, recording Trench Talk has been somewhat of a pet project for me. Originally, the whole idea came about of how do we network and how do we speak with as many individuals in the industry as possible? And how can we create as much content as possible? And so we thought, let's film ourselves interviewing door-to-door managers, owners, sales representatives about their experiences and headaches within the door-to-door industry. I have to say, the one thing that surprised me about filming a podcast is that the lighting, the audio, it is actually really complicated. If we didn't have our buddy Jake helping us out, it would have been a complete nightmare. Now, the cool part is everyone loves to be interviewed. And even though it's more complex than I originally thought it'd be, the content is so enjoyable because we really get to hear from our direct audience what they're facing, what they're enjoying about the industry, and what is something that they'd want to change.
This week wrapped up with an advisory board meeting where really the advisory board meetings are always, they're great, and I'm super happy that we have them. And the thing about them that makes them great is the part that I dislike about them, which is the tough love part. As an entrepreneur, you have to develop a thicker skin to hear critical feedback. And I find it harder than when I was selling a different product. Like when I was going door to door, it was easier to get feedback and criticism. But when it's your business, especially something like Combat where we've put so much time into it, obviously strikes a chord, and it hits the heartstrings a little bit more when you hear criticism of it. So the meeting was generally great. It was fantastic with the instruction, but the tough love conversations of, hey, you guys need to get deals, you need to go and sell, you need to, generate leads. And it's something that we obviously know, but it's just hearing it, again, is what's hard. Conversations like, hey, maybe you don't need a perfect website. And I totally get that. Like, there are companies that are huge out there that don't have a great website. But when we're developing content like this, it's our resume. Our website is our resume of the content and the way that we teach. And so if we can teach the audience about the problem and bring awareness to it in a clear and concise way, it builds the trust that we can do that with their information.
Yeah, our advisory board meeting was instructive for sure. The coolest part about having all those different inputs is that we really get to evaluate what the best strategy is. And if multiple people agree on a similar issue or a similar approach, then we usually have an idea that that's the right path to go forward.
We're learning, adapting, and growing with each challenge. Next thing on our docket for this week is really focusing on leads. Actually, for the next 30 days, that's all we're focusing on. Now that we have a business that has the website, that has the home base, we have a product that we really can bring to market, we're running ads. I was talking about it with Greg. We haven't run ads since we started. And part of that was that we wanted to focus on giving ourselves the foundation of a brand and getting content and putting that together and kind of learning a couple things, nailing down our website, having certain things in place before we started to really ramp everything up, like nailing down exactly our offer, the steps of delivery, certain, fundamental things, because what makes us a little bit different from, let's say, a drop shipper or a online business, which, nothing against those guys, but our business is built on delivery, right? Giving a fantastic experience, because my objective, at least as an entrepreneur, is I want to figure out how do we bring people in and never lose them. And I know that, it sounds kind of like a pipe dream because churn is almost expected, but I truly believe with the business model that Combat has and the way that we approach helping businesses to get into a mutualistic relationship where we genuinely help businesses grow, the goal would be that they never want to get rid of us. That's my objective, is how do we give them such a great experience that we don't have churn? And I know that probably sounds crazy and it sounds, probably ignorant to most entrepreneurs, and I get it. But that's our objective, is just providing a fantastic experience from day one so that we keep people for longer and they tell their friends about us. So it's different because I've always just been a door knocking grunt. I loved being able to go door to door because the leads never stopped. And so learning how to generate leads online, that's been at least the biggest hurdle that we've been jumping through, and that's what we're going to be doing moving forward.
Thanks for watching Building Combat. Your support means the absolute world to us, and we really appreciate you watching.
If you're an entrepreneur, or if you're running a business, or if you just resonate with some of the challenges that we're going through, drop it in the comments. Let us know exactly what you guys are dealing with, and we'd love to interact with you guys and really just touch base and see if maybe we could even help on our side, catering some content or reaching out to see if we can provide some value to you guys as well. So appreciate it, and until next time.
Stay tuned next week to watch us continue our journey of building a company from the ground up.